So there are actually signs and things that will come through in your physical reality and also your inner world, because the universe is communicating with us 24/7. It's not about that. It's whether we're paying attention or listening. And there are a few things that will start coming in when you're actually moving in the wrong direction. Now, understand when I say wrong, it is contextual. When I say that, I mean wrong compared to what you say it is you actually want. So if you want higher consciousness to move down your heart path, etc., these are things that if they're showing up, the universe is trying to redirect you or get your attention so that you can move more down that path of coherence that's more aligned to what you truly are. So that's what we're covering in this video. That's coming up next. So as always, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dave and this is HeartSpace, where I am creating videos every single day to help you along your heart path. Now let's just jump right into it. I have a very really quick, simple one for you today. It's just 3 signs that if you are experiencing any of these things, and to use your discernment and only take on board what resonates with you, by the way, don't take this as gospel, don't analyze it, all the way, like all this different stuff. How does it feel to your heart? And if you're noticing these things in your life, if you realize like, yeah, this is something I need to pay attention to, then there you go. This is just a call to awareness, so to speak. And when you have that awareness, you can make new choices, which will lead to a new future. So let's get into it, going in reverse order with number 3. So let's get the obvious one out of the way with number 3, and it's heaviness. You hear me talk about heaviness and lightness all the time because you have to understand that the source, the universe, yes, will communicate through different signs and indications, but it will also communicate mainly through energy. Through your intuitive faculties, through your heart. You have to understand the mind is the analytical one. That's when it goes like this means that means that, da-da-da-da-da. It's why I say what resonates with you. If I say something, which is an analytical thing, right? Like I'm saying words, phrasing them together in a way that hopefully paints a picture that you can make an association to. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it's probably not the thing for you. But if it does, that is the sign. That is the indication from your intuitive faculties. But resonates from here, have to go up, your heart, not my heart, your heart, and not here. And so understand that we want these to really follow the pathway and the messages that actually resonate. And again, if you're feeling heaviness all of the time, especially in those intuitive faculties, you're just kind of feeling all this heavy energy, that is a clear sign that there's something you need to look at, shift, change. You're going in a direction that's causing this heaviness. Now, a lot of times heaviness will be there so you pay attention to it, but heaviness only accumulates or comes in because you're doing certain things that are against what you actually are, or further away in a different direction than the pathway that's closer or more aligned to your heart. So lightness is usually an indicator that you are moving more into congruence or moving in the direction of congruence with that which you actually are, higher consciousness, your heart path. And heaviness is obviously the opposite. These are 2 huge communications through your heart, through your intuition, to know if you're moving in the right direction or not. So if you are feeling that heaviness, again, if that resonates, I would invite you, I should say, to look at that and see what is it you're doing or where are you putting your attention that's causing that heaviness. Now, number 2 is negative synchronicities. Now, you've heard me talk about synchronicities a lot recently from the more positive perspective, but understand that these can happen from the so-called negative. Now, when they happen from the negative, understand that it's not negative to the universe. We make that association, but if things that are undesirable are coming in, especially in the physical, it usually means you've been going in the wrong direction for quite a bit of time. And so if you've been experiencing especially a lot of negative synchronicities, and some people experience it for years and so much, but instead of using it as the sign and kind of the wake-up call that life is usually intending it to be, they use it as a way to double down on their old story or victimhood, right? That's why a lot of people don't change, or they suffer all of the time, because these things have been happening for years, but they aren't meant to make you suffer and slap you in the face. They're meant to show you, hey, look, what you're doing isn't working. If you say you want to feel better, if you say you want to live a fulfilled life that's more in your heart or more in your passion or more just aligned to higher consciousness. So if you're noticing these negative synchronicities, you can actually start to notice them pretty early and go, okay, what is life telling me? What do I intuitively think life is telling me? And if you even ask, ask life, ask the universe, what are you trying to have come through me? Show me or give me something that, you're trying to show comes through me, and see what resonates. Again, don't let your mind come in and be like, well, I think it's this, I think it's that. Don't worry about the thinking part of it, right? What resonates with you? What is it that actually from the feeling center, the emotional guidance system, you're being drawn to or away to. Because it might be, you say to the universe, okay, I'm noticing some of these negative synchronicities, it seems, and I just want to know what it is. Sometimes it could even be that that stuff is happening because you need to embrace a bend in the river, and it's actually okay. It's a total part of your process, and it's like, oh, don't worry, we're just doing this because we need to make space for something new. So yes, you lost your job, so for, let's say, for example, this is not particular to anyone's experience, I'm just saying this as a generality. Let's say that happened, and you think like, oh, maybe this is a negative synchronicity. What's happening? Did I do something wrong? And then you find out, oh, wait a second, maybe you ask for like some more guidance on this, and then you watch a video where someone says, hey, actually, that sometimes can happen because the old needs to be taken away to make room for the new, the higher level of vibration and consciousness manifesting in your reality. If that then resonates, again, I would invite you to take on board that it's possible that that is the reason that that was taken away from you, for example, right? So understanding can work in that way as well. But let's say you're seeing certain negative synchronicities and you have that inner knowing that, oh, this is something as like a, hey, you've gone off course. You can start to see those early and then start making new choices, because you could be like, oh, okay, I see. I have been not doing my inner work as much. I've, been really doing heady things. I've been getting into old behaviors, and then suddenly these synchronicities in a direction I don't really want to go in are starting to show up. You can then use that feedback to, again, make new choices. Again, I am reiterating this idea of what resonates, because do not take what I am saying. I am just delivering this message through me. Do not take what I am saying and say, oh, that's exactly what it is for me, unless it is because it resonates with those intuitive faculties. You are an amazing, powerful being. You have those amazing, powerful spiritual tools. Again, what I'm saying is still coming from the external, but does it resonate with the internal in you? Then you can start to actually use it and be like, oh, okay, that's what it is for me, or whatever it is, right? That's why I'm reiterating that, because a lot of people, again, they have trouble with this. They make it a heady thing when it's really things that are intended to be from the heart, from an inner world perspective. So I just want to make sure I'm being as clear as I can on that. I can't make anyone do it from that angle, but for me, that's ultimately what I would invite you to do with any of this information. Number one is you notice or you feel like you have to keep justifying things in your life. And let me explain what this means. Justification is always a heady, egoic game to keep something in place that you've actually outgrown. For the most part, again, I don't want to make this a black and white thing. I'm sure in some cases it's not. But I would say for the vast majority of cases, if you have to continually justify why something's in your life, or keep from like a head-based, almost checklist type mentality why you keep it in your life, typically it's something you may have outgrown, or the universe is actually trying to take from you so you can move back down the right path, so you can start making quantum leaps down your heart path, down the path that actually resonates with your higher self. So what I would invite you to do is start paying attention to the things that you're justifying in your life. Start paying attention to the things that you're like, this has become a very heady thing for me. Why do I keep arguing for this? It's because you might have a bit of an egoic construct about it. It might be something that tethers you to an old story, and that old story is just kicking up and needs to keep creating reasons for you to keep it there. Because if you have no reason for keeping that old story, you'll start naturally moving beyond it, and it will start to disappear. And so again, I would invite you to just be aware of what is it you're justifying from here. Again, the heart, like the things that are powerful, the things that are heart-based, the things that are high consciousness do not need to justify themselves. They just are. Their power alone, how powerful they are alone, is enough evidence to really show you kind of their value or why they're there, right? But if it's something like you have to justify and come up with all these reasons, oh, well, in the past they did this, or my job did that, whatever, if it's misaligned, you will feel it. And just to really give more credence to that, if that's something that resonates with you. Now, a lot of going down your right path, raising your consciousness, your vibration, has to do with letting go. So I would watch this video next, especially if this one resonates with you, because I go over 8 habits to quit so that you can invite your dreams in. A lot of people are holding on, again, to a lot of stuff that actually prevents these things from coming in. And these are some of the things I think are common for a lot of people to hold on to that prevent a lot of what they actually want to come into their life.